I asked my doctor, why didn't you tell me that this particular blood pressure medicine causes hair loss or hair thinning? He said, I don't tell any of my patients that because we live in such a vain society that if I tell them that the blood pressure medicine will thin their hair, they'll be more concerned about their hair thinning than their health. I did it. I did it.
Y'all, they done messed around and get your microphone. Anyway, just pay that no mind. Um, Today's topic is one of serious nature. In fact, it is a topic that is close to my heart because I am a women's health advocate. And the incoming video that I'm about to share is actually taken from a few months ago when this original video just came out. And I went and I did a live on Instagram and had this discussion. Now, the audio for that, it isn't the best, but hopefully you can get the information, take it, chew the meat, spit the bones out, and then stay to the end because I have some additional information that could just save your hair. It will give you some information on how you can deal with a couple of things, be aware of certain medications that may lend you to thinning, hair thinning. All right. Look forward to seeing you on the other end of the video.
Not knowing the side effects because her doctor didn't relay them. The honest to God truth, and you all feel free to chime in because this isn't a monologue. This is a two-way discussion here, and any comments or thoughts that you all have is welcome. But the honest to God truth is that many doctors, they don't know all the side effects of the medicines they prescribe. They don't know. Now, I may get some heat for saying that. I expect it. I'm prepared for it. I'm a follower of Christ. This is just what I do. And I understand that that's the way it's going to go down when it goes down. It is what it is. But I'm going to speak truth. I am a champion of truth. So, not only do they not know all the side effects of the medicine that they prescribe, they surely don't know about medication interactions. Okay? So today's Tuesday tip that I'm going to share with you from a wise woman, and she shared it with me years ago. This was my mother. She said when it comes to medications, she said, I don't trust no doctor. Not a one. And I said, really, Mom? Why? She said, because they don't know. I said, well, that's what they went to school for. How could they not know? And I thought about that thing, and I started to follow the direction she was taking me in the conversation. I want y'all to guess who she says she trusts. I want you to put in the comments, who do you think my mother says she trusts when it comes to medications? I'll wait. And please let me know if you can absolutely hear me for sure, because I've got these. Okay. Good answers. Good answers. God being number one, for sure. For sure. But in the practical world as well, we got the spiritual world as number one. The practical world was the pharmacist. I would just lay that right here for a moment and just let that marinate. The pharmacist is who went to school to learn pharmacology, the medicines. So the pharmacist is the one that understands the side effects, the adverse effects, and the interactions of the medications. You will have in your whole medical team, you may be seeing 2 maybe 3 doctors, depending on what it is that you have going on in your life. Though none of them talk to each other. They're all writing prescriptions. They're all going to one pharmacy. Who do you need to develop a relationship with? Yes, your pharmacist. Develop a relationship with the pharmacist. My mama told me, find out who the pharmacist is. You ask him all the questions. She said when she has a question about her medication, she goes directly to her pharmacist because he's the one that knows. He knows the interactions, all the things that the doctor, they don't know. More than likely, when they have prescribed that medicine, it has been for the indicated usage. There are a lot of medications that have more than one use, just like we have found out about these Ozempics and whatnot. The pleasant side effect, is weight loss, but the original indication of use for that drug is for type 2 diabetes and to help with the insulin. And so how do you know how that drug will interact with other drugs that you already may be on? They're not going to always go into those details with you because that is not what they have been necessarily trained to do. And there are new drugs that come on the market day in and day out. All they're doing, and I've seen it happen because I've been exposed to it, is when the pharmacy reps come in to the office, they wine and dine. The doctors get a percentage of writing so many prescriptions based on the latest and the greatest. Now, not to say that they're prescribing it incorrectly, but what we're concerned about is the side effects, because what the lady said in the reel was one of the side effects was hair thinning, and he held back the side effect. Now, I feel like this is how do I say this? Should your doctor be required to tell you the side effects of a medicine, even if he thinks that you won't take it because you know the side effects? Like, for the doctor to sit up and tell you that I withheld certain medication information from you because I felt that if I told you the side effect, you would not take it. That's wrong on every level. That's just as wrong as 2 left shoes. I'm so sorry. Because that's your responsibility as a physician. And see, these kind of things, they get my blood pressure up. Because I am all day long a patient advocate, a client advocate. So when I have these conversations with clients, when I have these conversations with my patients, it's time to find a new doctor. That's what I'm talking about. Like, you sit up here and told me you withheld information that could affect my well-being because you thought I would refuse to take the medication. I would hold this information from you all because I think you're more interested in your aesthetics than you are in your health. Okay, that's all kind of wrong. All kind of wrong. However, true it could be. We could be more concerned about our hair than our health. That is a true possibility. But it's my responsibility to have informed consent. So when you tell me what you need to tell me, then if I choose not to take it, he can prescribe whatever he wants to prescribe. He can prescribe anything. It's still my choice to go and get the prescription picked up from the local CVS pharmacy or wherever it is that you go. It's still my responsibility. Then it's still my responsibility to put it in my mouth and take it as prescribed. All these people running around talking about Ozempic, the side effects of it, you knew there were side effects. There's a lot of people that are on plenty other medications. What's that other one? Wegovy, whatever. They're not having problems. Why? Because they understood the side effects and they did what they needed to do to counteract them. They understood it. You have to go in with the knowledge and counteract whatever it is. Because everything you take, Tylenol got side effects. It can cause liver damage. I'm out. If you won't write down the name for meds, etc., so I can look it up for myself. Okay, that's right. So the part that I felt like eventually might get me in a little hot water is I want to go a little bit deeper, and I probably will go into this on my YouTube. Where is the accountability for us? Because we're the ones going to be taking the medications. We are the ones that are going to be dealing with the side effects. We are the ones that are going to have to see how this particular medicine is going to affect me. But I'm going to go even deeper than that. What is the root cause? Because blood pressure, high blood pressure, I would say, and forgive me for my statistics, I know that they're probably off. So if you want to fact check me, you can. But get the point. Chew the meat, spit out the bones. My point is that these are lifestyle issues. These are lifestyle. Type 2 diabetes and most blood pressure, high blood pressure situations are not genetic. The majority of them are lifestyle. People say, oh, it runs in my family. I love that statement. I love it. The problem is your family ain't running, baby. You ain't running. Y'all ain't been running nowhere. You might have been running to the curb store. You might have been running to pick up those to-go plates. You might have been running everywhere else but running. For the sake of running. So sue me. I said it. I mean, what is the root cause? Most of the times it's diet. Most of the time it's diet and lifestyle. All of it. A sedentary lifestyle and eating whatever the heck you want to eat. And I explain it this way. Your genetics are the loaded gun. We have to take all those risk factors into account. You can't change your ethnicity. You cannot change your bone structure. You cannot change all the cardiac history you have in your family. Those are all things on the plate. Okay? That's the loaded gun. That's the loaded gun. But what pulls the trigger is your lifestyle, your habits, our habits. Because I'm not speaking to you all, I'm speaking to all of us. We all, because I'm struggling. I know what I know because I've been through it. I've done all the blood pressure medicine and I understood how to do it. I've been back on blood pressure medicine because I understood how to do it. Yeah, so there's that. Yeah, so, and I'm going to tell you something, and I'm on my soapbox today. I'm on my soapbox today. So you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Let's get it. Denial is a problematic drug. It is a pure drug, let me tell you. Denial is a drug. It will have you doing the most without accountability. Yeah. Everything Jam says. Running Popeyes. Texting her, running Popeyes. What? Popeyes used to be good. It's trash. I mean, it was always trash. But when it tastes like trash, we got a whole problem. I can't go there. I'm just gonna keep it real. This is just a conversation we're having. This is not an accusation. This isn't a conversation. I'm just gonna keep it real with us because heart disease in an African American woman is taking us out. I mean, it's a challenge to take care of ourselves the way that we really, really need to. Stress. Don't even get to talk about stress. Stress is a killer. So all of these things have to be discussed, and they have to be discussed in their totality, not in, the bits and pieces, those conversations. Because, yeah, the doctor didn't tell you the side effects. That's great. That's fine. It's not great, but it is what it is. But are you trying to get off the blood pressure medicine? Or have you just accepted it? And I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to tell you a real secret, and I want you to take this to the bank. Let me see everything Jan says. Getting to the root and not be satisfied with treating just the symptoms. That's where I was headed. Yes, ma'am. That's where I was headed. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you the truth about it. Um, most of the medications out there, they are designed to manipulate your numbers. How many people you know had a heart attack and they were on medicine? How many people you know had a stroke and they was on a statin? Right. That's what I'm talking about. It manipulates your numbers to where you start to feel good about your blood pressure dropping. I'm not saying that they don't do what it is that they said they do. It will drop your blood pressure. But the root cause of what's bringing it up has not been addressed. So in that way, it manipulates your numbers. So it gives you a false sense of security to go out there and eat whatever the heck you want to eat because you're taking that medicine. So that's the thing. The blood pressure medicines, the statins, all of these things give you, some people, not all, it gives you license to go ahead and eat what it is that you want to eat. As long as you're popping that pill, as long as you are taking the medications, you have no motivation to really uproot the cause. And so, for those people that are on here that have not been following me, but for maybe a couple of years, I think it was back in 2021.
So I hope you all enjoyed that video. I hope you received some knowledge that made you, have that aha moment. Um, I think that's important to share these type of conversations with others. So if you think it's of value, please don't hesitate to share this video. What I'm about to get into now is more specifics in regards to certain blood pressure medicines that can actually cause hair loss, and it can be very small amounts, and uh, or it could be a fair amount of thinning that you're experiencing. Um, but whatever the case is, there are some ways to deal with that situation as well that I'm going to talk about after I discuss these specifics. Now, one pretty common category that could lend itself to hair loss is the beta blocker category of blood pressure medicines. These blood pressure, this category in itself is like your low pressor, your um, usually the name ends in a LOL, not to be funny, but or OL, and that's in the generic name. But the trade name is low pressor. Metoprolol is the generic name for this particular blood pressure medicine that I'm speaking of. And this particular one, it can cause hair to switch from the growth phase to the resting phase. And this, of course, can lead to hair loss. Now, it can be temporary depending on your health issues, your genetics, and your style choices. So, if you are already having issues from blood pressure medicine, thinning your hair, your style choices have to be very, very intentional on preserving your hair. So, low tension, low manipulation styling is the best for you if you're already having those issues. That hair is fragile, so you need to give it the respect, put some respect on it if you want to preserve it. And none of us are getting any younger. Don't add menopause in. Don't add in, you know, your genetic background. Don't add in diabetes. Don't add in other situations that might add to the problem. So those things you may not have complete control of, but you can choose your styles. You can choose whether or not these styles actually are helping preserve the hair or they're helping the hair to get on up out of there. So, another thing is the higher the doses of your medications are more likely to cause hair loss. If you have multiple blood pressure medicines, then you're asking for an increased risk just by that alone. So, and here's a side note to that too. It's not just blood pressure medicine. There's anticoagulants, um, um, antidepressants, specifically selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, SSRIs. If you don't know which ones those are, just Google it. SSRIs, which SSRIs can cause or contribute to perhaps some hair loss. Because a lot of people are on antidepressants, anti anxieties, and I'm not saying you're going to go bald if you take one. There's just some that could lend itself to that side effect or risk. I mean, all medication has risk, but we ain't going to stop taking it because we want to live, right? But here's the other caveat to this. What can you do if you are on some of this medication? Try to get off of it. That is the goal. The goal is not for you to forever be on this medication. So if you're on multiple blood pressure medicines, then do the best that you can to at least try to come off one every 6 months, even by changing your diet, exercising, doing the things that you know will help to relieve you of some of this side effects from your medication. Because as you saw in the video in my live, it doesn't fix the problem. It's just a band-aid. The other thing is you can ask your doctor for an alternative. Just like with that, I'm sorry, I got some sinuses issues going on. But just like the lisinopril rather. I don't know if you are aware of this medication, but in the African American community, it is an absolute no-no. There have been anaphylactic reactions to it where your lips are swelling, your throat could be closing, and it starts off with a very insignificant issue, some coughing. And then at night, it just worsens. It's like this constant cough that you can't get rid of. It might be the lisinopril. And doctors love to diagnose you with blood pressure when sometimes a slight change in your diet could keep you off of blood pressure medicine, especially if they start you with a low dose of lisinopril. You're not in the danger zone, but the lisinopril, especially if it's 5 or 10 milligrams, I'm talking about very low dosages, that's easier to come off than when you start having all these multiple medications. But the lisinopril, like I said, is cheap, so it's easy for the doctors to write a prescription for that. It's only like $4 or $5. But where was my point in this? My point in that was just like that can cause you issues, the coughing, and ultimately for some anaphylactic reactions where they end up in the ICU. Ask your doctor for an alternative. That was my point. You know, this menopause can get you in it can get you in a fix sometimes. You're like, what was I saying? What am I doing here? No. So anyway, all you got to do is ask for an alternative. Do your research, educate yourself, and don't be afraid to open your mouth when you get to the doctor's office. Okay? Okay. All right. The other thing is make sure in the meantime, if you're having to be on any of those medications, and we fighting for our lives right now. Yes, because we like to eat, we like to do the things. We're all trying to figure it out. But Add some vitamins, add some mineral supplements, make sure that your vitamin D levels are good. If not, do your supplements to really help support your follicle recovery. And that way, you are not just struggling without having any out. You have some kind of framework that you can work your way out of this situation in. And if not, how you can mitigate any possible side effects, such as hair thinning. So I hope this video has really given you some insight. I hope it's been valuable. And please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good one.